Your dog has never met a stranger you trust without reason. And the moment someone walks in, your dog has already decided. Not randomly. Not out of nowhere. There is a system running behind those eyes, and once you understand it, everything changes. Before a person opens their mouth, before they reach out a hand, your dog has already read them. Not their words. Their body. Dogs are scanning constantly: posture, movement, eye contact, the way someone breathes. Researchers at Yevushlorand University found that dogs are extraordinarily sensitive to human body language cues, far beyond what we consciously produce. A person who walks in stiff, with direct eye contact and a forward lean? To your dog, that is a threat signal. It does not matter that the person is a perfectly kind neighbor who just happens to stand that way. This is the first thing most owners miss. When your dog backs away from someone or growls or simply refuses to get close, the common assumption is that the dog is being difficult, or that they somehow sense evil. Neither is quite right. What your dog is sensing is misalignment. The person's body is broadcasting a signal that conflicts with what dogs consider safe. In the wild, a direct, unbroken stare is a challenge. A looming posture over a smaller animal means danger. Your dog is not making a character judgment. They are reading a script that was written millions of years before humans had last names. Here is something worth trying right now. The next time someone your dog seems uneasy around visits, watch how that person enters the room. Do they walk straight toward the dog? Do they bend over the dog's head rather than crouching to the side? Do they hold eye contact? These are all, in dog language, mildly aggressive signals, even when the human intends warmth. The dogs who dislike the most people are often the dogs who have been approached incorrectly the most times. Each uncomfortable interaction reinforces the pattern. Each forced greeting teaches them that when a certain kind of person arrives, something unpleasant follows. This is not a personality flaw in your dog. It is a survival system doing exactly what it was designed to do. The question is not why your dog dislikes some people. The question is what those people are accidentally saying with their bodies. There is an entire conversation happening that you are completely shut out of. Your dog's nose is picking up information your brain will never process. A dog's sense of smell is estimated to be between 10,000 and 100,000 times more sensitive than a human's. That is not a metaphor. That is the actual gap. When someone walks through your door, your dog is receiving a detailed chemical report. Stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline have a scent. Fear has a scent. Anger has a scent. And your dog reads all of it before you've said hello. This is why your dog sometimes dislikes a person who seems perfectly calm and pleasant to you. That person may be masking anxiety socially, keeping their voice steady and their smile polished, but underneath, their body is producing chemicals that tell a completely different story. Your dog is not reading the performance. Your dog is reading the chemistry. Research published in Animal Cognition demonstrated that dogs exposed to human stress sweat showed measurable behavioral changes: increased heart rate, more stress-related behaviors, more avoidance. The dogs were not trained to detect anything. They simply smelled what was real. There is also something else in the scent picture that rarely gets discussed: unfamiliar animals. If a person has recently been around a strange dog, a cat, or certain other animals, they carry that scent with them. To your dog, this unknown animal smell can trigger uncertainty or even territorial instinct. The visitor seems perfectly fine to you, but they smell like they came from somewhere complicated. And then there is medication, synthetic fragrances, cleaning products. Heavy perfume, in particular, can genuinely overwhelm a dog's sensory system. Not in a life-threatening way, but in a way that makes your dog deeply uncomfortable around that person without any social reason at all. Your dog is not being irrational. They are being extraordinarily rational, using a system of information gathering that is simply invisible to you. When they pull away from someone, ask yourself not just what that person looks like, but what they might smell like to an animal with a nose 100,000 times more powerful than yours. Dogs do not forget. Not the good things. And especially not the uncomfortable ones. One of the most overlooked reasons a dog dislikes a specific person is something that happened once, possibly so briefly that the owner barely noticed. A loud sudden laugh. A hand that moved too fast. A child who grabbed an ear. Dogs have what behaviorists describe as a strong single-event learning capacity. One bad moment with a particular type of person can create a lasting template. This is especially important for dogs who were not extensively socialized before 14 weeks of age. The socialization window, the developmental period when puppies learn what is safe and what is not, closes early. Dogs who pass through that window with limited human variety will often carry caution toward unfamiliar types of people for the rest of their lives. Tall men with deep voices, people in hats, people who move unpredictably. These associations were not built out of aggression. They were built out of absence. But here is where it gets genuinely surprising. Dogs also read your reaction to people. Studies at UC San Diego showed that dogs follow human social cues to form their own opinions. If you are tense around a particular person, your dog registers that tension and files it as relevant. If you have an anxious exchange at the front door, your dog does not see a normal conversation. They see their trusted human signaling that this situation requires alertness. This means some of your dog's dislikes are, in part, borrowed from you. Your own unresolved stress around a specific family member, a nervous colleague, someone you smile at while your shoulders stay tight. Your dog picks that up and stores it. The relationship between memory and dislike in dogs is not fixed. Gradual positive exposure, where the person your dog is uncertain about becomes the consistent source of something good. A treat, a calm presence, no forced interaction, can rebuild the association over weeks. Takes patience. Takes consistency. But the memory is not a wall. It is more like a door that opens slowly, if you approach it the right way. Now that you understand the system, you can work with it instead of against it. The single biggest mistake owners make is forcing the interaction. Someone arrives, the dog retreats, the owner calls the dog over, the visitor reaches down, and the dog is suddenly trapped in the exact situation their instincts were trying to avoid. Each time this happens, the dislike deepens. The dog learns that their signal was ignored, and that visitors mean loss of control over their own space. Instead, give the dog an exit. Let them approach on their terms in their own time. Ask visitors to ignore the dog completely when they first arrive. No eye contact, no reaching, no calling. Sit sideways. Be boring. Let the dog's curiosity eventually overcome their caution. With most dogs, this takes between 5 and 15 minutes. That is a small investment for a relationship that could last years. Have the visitor offer a treat, not held out toward the dog, but simply dropped on the floor nearby. No performance, no expectation. Just the treat, existing in the vicinity of this non-threatening human. Over time, the chemical equation in your dog's brain begins to shift. This person's presence now predicts something good. And on your end, check your own body when that person arrives. Are your shoulders tight? Is your voice slightly different? Are you already watching the dog with anticipation, waiting for something to go wrong? Your dog is watching you watch them. Staying genuinely relaxed, not performing calm but actually settling, gives your dog permission to do the same. One practical experiment worth trying. The next time your dog seems uneasy around someone, leave the room briefly. Watch whether your dog relaxes slightly when you are gone. If they do, some of that tension was yours. Your dog does not dislike people out of stubbornness or spite. They dislike certain signals, certain scents, certain memories. Understanding this does not just explain the behavior. It gives you the tools to change it gently on the dog's timeline in a way that actually lasts. Your dog is not judging people. They are reading a world you cannot fully see or smell. The more you understand what they are reacting to, the better you can help them feel safe. If this changed how you see your dog, subscribe. There is a lot more of this kind of thing here. And drop a comment. Who does your dog always seem cautious around?